So this is a 2015 Dodge Durango. I assume you're seeing this because you've seen other videos on changing the headlight bulb out and not found it to be adequate. Usual disclaimer, any issues, you work on a car, you can hurt yourself, hurt others, blah, blah, blah. This is for information, entertainment, and not to be professional judgment or professional advice. So the headlight failure mode on these vehicles, I've heard two different stories. Again, there's the headlight right inside there. There's a driver's side, obviously. One story is that intermittent failure, which is what we have in this vehicle, it works perfectly fine and stops, works perfectly fine and stops, indicates a problem with the computer. Other story I've heard is that that is the failure mode of the HID lights. And here's the replacement bulb in HID. These things cost about $150 at your local auto parts store, and we'll replace this bulb. Access is an issue. On the driver's side, we have the air box here. This is the air intake, the filter, those kinds of things, into the air intake for the engine. It sort of impedes your access to the headlight there. On the passenger side, a little bit easier to get inside there, and you can see inside there. That's easier access to the light bulb. I'm going to get a light here so I can show you what we're talking about and point things out. These vehicles have access points underneath there, and this wheel's turned away. But if you look right underneath here in the top, right inside there, there's a round little access port which allows you access to the back of the light. And the same thing over here on the driver's side, which is where we're looking at. You see I've removed the cover right there, and if you look up into the wheel well here, and see I've turned the wheel to the right side. I'm working on the left side, the driver's side. If you look inside there, I've removed the access panel. You can see I've removed the there's part of what you can see. You can see right here that little round box, or the square box there. That's the back part of your HID light. I've removed it and pulled it out partially so you can see it. There's a wire on down beyond there. How do you get to that? It's a little bit difficult even through this access panel here. I found it's easier to do a two-part access, both from the inside here and also from the top here. There are multiple videos that show you how to remove the air filter here. It's really very straightforward. As you see, I loosened up the clamp right here, pulled off one of the crankcase. I believe this is ventilation in there. Inside here's your air filter, and I haven't pulled the whole darn thing off, and you're able to loosen it up enough in here to enable myself to pull off this piece right here, which is your actual air intake that goes here. And again, there are a lot of videos that show that. Pretty straightforward there, but that allows you access to the inside. And if you see, let me see here. There is the bulb. You can just see the top part of my light there, the back part of the bulb there, at the very top there, light. That's the back part of your HID bulb that I pulled out. There's also a little boot in there. I'm going to show you on the passenger side here, the boot that I pulled off. Earlier, the boot is, see right there, let me see if you can see that. Let me picture the boot for you. It's hard for you to see that. Anyway, there's a round plastic boot. It's maybe 2 or 4 inches across. My light's on it there. It's that plastic boot. I don't know if you can see that. You can see it's behind that wire there. Put it up a little bit for you here. No joy in that. Anyway, inside here, I'm on the driver's side. If you reach right inside here, there's a round plastic boot in there that covers the back part of the light, and there's a little small nub on it. You pulled it, the plastic thing pulls right off. It just comes right off the back. Hey, Chris, I'm gonna stop this in a sec, buddy. So here's the plastic boot removed, and it just has a small little nub. You just pull it right off. It's not a big. It's just as a sealant for the light, for the back part of the light. And that I pulled off the back here. Again, if you look just. If you look at where that can you see the where to put this area here on the top there? There's this in the top part of my picture here. There is a small view of the light bulb. I'm just trying to show this because it's just difficult to pull this off here. So again, I think access from both the top and from the side will enable you to remove this right here first, and then pull the bulb itself out, which is right. And there you can see that. Here you can see the back side of the bulb. It just pulls right back out. And you don't get confused by these plastic things over here to your left or outboard of the car. inboard is where you get that HID thing. It's a high voltage item. Be careful, and also obviously touch the glass only when you have gloves on, because it ruins the bulb if you have any human oils or other things on it. So we're going to go ahead and take this piece out and put it in and put everything back together again. Here I've turned on a light in order to light the compartment up a little bit better for you. And again, this is the driver's side here, and if you can see, I've got a little laser pointer there. The laser pointer is pointing, if you look at that white object there, that is actually, and I'm going to turn you upside down here, it's going to sort of disorient you a little bit. This is right side up. Turn you upside down here a little bit. And again, we're upside down here, but that object right there is your HID. To your right there is where it came off of. You can see the circular, just behind that black structure there, you can see the circular, as effective as I thought it would be. But anyway, there's the HID light there, the driver's side. This is upside down. We turn the right side up and pull you out here a little bit. Again, there, we're talking right there. That little white object there that is above my pointer, just above that red pointer. Oop. Just above that red pointer is the back end of the HID that we're going to replace. And here I've zoomed in on the light bulb. Again, this is driver's side. You can see the bulb there sticking straight out at you. The connector to it right down there. And it goes to your right. I'm going to just come back here so you can see where it comes from. You can just pull, I just pulled that aft or posterior in the car there. It's on the driver's side. Again, you can see how you get a little bit better access, at least to see what you're doing here. Again, this is the driver's side there. And there's the front of the car to your right, the back of the car to your left. And we'll come up some more here and we'll be able to see where we're working. Again, right, we removed the air filter, the air intake right there. Just, it facilitates access there. You can get it from the bottom. I guess you got to really know what you're doing, and it's just it's easier. It saves you a lot of sweat to do this there. By the way, just on the, as far as that goes, this repair, I've seen people talking about this costing somewhere in the vicinity of $300 or so at the dealership. The bulb itself is $150. It does take a little bit to pull this apart. You know, how much is your time and money worth? But I think it's worth doing it. And here's another shot from the inside here that will show you the orientation of the bulb. Again, we're looking at, so here we're looking at the tire. This is the driver's side coming in through the wheel well here, and then we've removed the access patch, access holder, if you will. And there now I'm looking up. Again, there's a little base thing you see. I'm looking up at the back end of the light there, and you can see that hanging down right there, you can see the HID bulb itself, the white plastic C-clamp it was, and there's the back of the light itself, so you can see how it screws in there. It's a simple turn to the left and boom, it comes out, and there's just hanging right there for you. So this is from the wheel well perspective. You can come back through that wheel well perspective there. This is what I was struggling with the videos I saw on the internet. It just didn't help me. You can go from the top here now. Again, this is driver's side, through the intake there, and again, you can see right there the other side of that. There's some money here for you. The other side of that bulb, and you see the bulb just sort of hanging there. Again, it's just hanging out. Just try to give you an idea of the orientation. Why both sides are helpful in terms of getting access to this, in terms of seeing it. There's your bulb right there. Again, don't touch this bulb with anything except for with gloves, hands, because your skin oils will destroy the bulb quickly. And here's a picture of the small clip that comes off of the I'm going to do it upside down here for you all. You see there's the back end of the HID that you see there. So you see, okay, so there's the back end of the HID right there. You see right where the laser pointer is pointing in that area there, that metal thing. That's where the connector is, the connector for the electrical in to it, and there's a small little clip on it, and that little clip on it is what I just removed right here in my hand. And I used the easiest thing I found to do it was to take a small screwdriver like this right here and remove that little clip, because otherwise you can't pull the wire out. By removing that clip, now I've been able to And I'm going to go upside down here again just to get my camera in there. Now I've been able to separate from the back of the light the cable. Let me try to see the cable for you there. Anyway, you can see the light bulb sitting in there with the wire disconnected. So now I'll be able to stick my hand in, and I'm going to go in from the opposite side here from the wheel well and be able to. You actually can see right on top of it is the wire, but then I can move out and take out the bulb itself, and I'll do it from the top here. Let's go right side up. Let's floor it this way. So I notice I have the hands here. So this is now the bulb itself coming out. And notice that the C-clamp is on the same side as the connector. And there's a connector there. If you notice in these connectors here, there are little retaining clips there. And that's why you can't just pull the wire right out. You have to take out that little connecting thing right there that I have that goes in. And, oops. And the connecting thing here that allows you to, I'm not sure which orientation it goes, so I'll have to play with it a little bit here. But this has been a real bugaboo getting that wire out there. This locks that wire in there. So I'll be very careful with my new one. That's why I have gloves on, obviously. I bang this around a little bit here, but it's busted. Let's see, I don't know if you can see anything wrong with it. Again, it's not a standard bulb, it's a xenon type high intensity fixture. And that was got some electronics in it there, but that's your $150 bulb. And this is one that I think is not working properly. It's working intermittently. It's probably got some sort of electronic fault, and it probably doesn't, like the old school, have a big missing filament or some smoking gun like that. But that's the filament and that's the orientation of it. And here's my new one there. We're going to put that in just a moment. I'm going to try to show you here, if I can. Again, this is the light here, how the little hole there on the bottom, and this little device here, the little clip comes in from the side, and it goes and clips into that little hole there. Boom. So that prevents you from pulling the wire out. So if you're just trying to get the wire out, you're not going to be able to do it unless you pull this little clip out. That's not made clear in the other videos. And the other thing I want to point out too, that's really interesting, is the wiring for this is entirely self-contained within the light receptacle. That is, if you look at this cover that eventually goes over the back of it there, there's no perforation for it for the wire. And that's because the wiring is entirely inside of the lamp itself. And here's just for grins, there's see the lens there. So anyway, we'll go ahead and change our bulb out now and reinstall it with a new bulb. And here, if you're interested, is a close-up of the empty socket. I'm going to go ahead and flip you upside down here. Oops. You're upside down there, looking in on the driver's side, and you can see there in the middle, the round structure in the center of the view there is the actual where the lens goes into, and you see that at the bottom part there, the rectangular silver object, and that's the connector actually floating in the breeze. You see how it's contained within the inside of the. Can't really get you in there. Let's take a look through the wheel well, just for grins, so you can see it with more access. Here's the wheel well, and again, you're looking up into the area with the light, with the. You can see light from the front of the car there, and right there, that little white area there, light area there, that's the opening where the lens, where the light sits in. And you can see actually right there, there's the connector there hanging in the breeze, and there's where it connects inside with the lens. And you see the lens up top there, and your connector right down there. So I'll hook it back up. You really need to go from both sides here. Usually the clip comes off. There's the clip on there. You get mounted to it. So you just do it with one hand. Oops, I can't. One hand, just pop the clip off and disconnect it, so it just goes right back on there. Again, the open end is towards the. And this is the orientation here with the connectors in towards the device. Let me give you a tip about putting it back in. As you see here, it's oriented with the open part to the bottom. I've twisted it a little bit to the counterclockwise direction because we're going to twist it like this to lock it in. So it's slightly twisted to the right there, very slightly. And I'd suggest you do this a couple times with your old bulb before you take your new $150 bulb and try this. And if you notice too in this bulb here, I've seen that, and now I see on the side of it, see the little dark area there. So if you notice on the top here, there's one nub on the top here and then two on the bottom. And if you look inside the vehicle from the back here looking to the forward, you'll see that the receptacle in there does indeed have a one on the top and two on the bottom. So I'm going to stick this in there and rotate it basically this clockwise. This is anti the action to get it out. You rotate this counterclockwise to pull it out. But here now you're going to put it in and feel with your hands. There are a couple different crevices you can go in, so put your fingers in there. You can use gloves and then rotate this clockwise. Once you put the top one and these two in the bottom through the holes, and feel the holes and get a feel for what it feels like. I mean, I think it's easiest to do it from the bottom here in there. And sometimes you use your hand from the top to help, but put your hands inside there and feel the receptacle and get a feel for it. And then I'm going to hook the wire up after I hook this in. So we're going to final time to notice here how I'm going to put this in like this, rotate this clockwise to get it to lock in there, and then I'll rotate it once a little bit more while it's in there. Excuse me, let's get it off there to actually line it up so it's parallel there. But it has to be off axis a little bit. And again, play with this yourself. It takes a couple tries to get it. So you get in there and you can lock this C collar and then rotate the entire unit so that this is coming straight down from between those two things. Try this, with the old bulb a couple times. So here we see through the wheel well the replacement lens, bulb installed. And as soon as we put the clip on it, which is below it there, we'll put that on, and it installed again with 1/4 turn, actually about 1/8 of a turn to the right. I did honestly find it easiest to pull the bulb out and spend a few minutes with the collar just putting it on and taking it off, just to get a feel for how it flips in there and put the bulb back in, because it's a $150 bulb. I didn't want to play around with that too much. So again, you can see through the wheel well here, the driver's side, how we have finished installing the bulb there. And here you can see that the the wire has been reattached to the bottom of the bulb. And now, again, coming out of the wheel well here, in a moment I'll put the top here back on from the top to seal it and hold it. This just pops right out. Looks like there's a little bit of a turn to it there. Turn this way to tighten, and obviously the other way to loosen it. It's got two small little nibs on the edges there. And you push it on the sides here to twist it to get it off. And I'm just going to turn the lights on before I put everything back together and make sure everything's working. And you can see, as we finished here, we have two bulbs that are now working in front of our vehicle. And again, here's the old bulb. You can see here on the side of it, it's got that brown, and it was good. And I'll pop this top here on the back there, and we'll be all done. And then finally, to put the cover back on, again, I'm going upside down here just to give you an illustration of it. We put the cover back on the, you see that little nub there, this little nub here, point it with my laser pointer here, this little nub here, the little nub right there that the laser pointer's on right now, see that little nub there. You push that counterclockwise to open it up. There's one on the opposite side, and that this whole sealing device here, this cup comes right off, and then you have access to the lens. Again, just put it back on, just to show you what to put on. And the air filter there, I guess I'll show you since I've got it here. I'll put that back on. Here's the extra piece here. It's all fairly loose. I've loosened it up a bit. There's a small little connector right here. Here's the front part of it. And there's, pull up my light because it's going to get stuck in there. There's just housekeeping stuff for the air. Expensive. Small little. What's up, buddy?
Can I have some lunch?
Yeah, just a sec, buddy. So there's a small little connector right there to hook up to the airbox. And I just loosened it up. I haven't actually pulled it all the way off. I did that earlier, but I think I'll be able to sneak the air intake here. That's what I did before. I should stick it in down from here. So do this. Anyway, you stick the air intake down in there and manipulate this back and forth. If you have to, you pull the top off, pull the air filter off, and there are two more nubs underneath the air filter. Just pop the thing up, and then again, don't forget to hook back up your intake and your PCV valve. Anyway, just for grins, because I had trouble getting the air intake in there, you pop the top off. There are two little clicks over here on the side, and the other end is just a hinge there on this side here. They don't hinge, and you pop the top off. The air cleaner is your air cleaner itself. Pop that bad boy out. And I'm just gonna flip it upside down so I don't get it trashed. And you see in the bottom here, there's two little connectors there where the airbox just sits. There are no real screws per se. I'm going to go ahead and put the air filter, the intake back here in the bottom. I'll just have trouble seating it. So I'll pop that bad boy in there and put this, that bad boy pops in there, and this top pops in there. And again, there's some of the videos that detail this. I'm not going to waste too much time doing it, but just FYI, this did facilitate me getting at that bulb a lot easier.